1992.
Affectionate Ray.
Tayson was Rhode Island, 18-year-old Desiree Washington.
He came up to me and hugged me and said, would you like to go out on a date with me? And I just said, sure. I was so surprised. And
Did you feel romantic towards him?
No. I didn't find him attractive. I was just shocked. Would you like to go out on a date with me? I mean, I don't see anyone who can find something sexual about that.
One beauty pageant contestant testified at the trial that you made remarks about Mike Tyson's physique, that specifically you talked about his butt. You talked about...
Yeah, that I never said.
Another beauty pageant contestant quoted you as saying, he's got a lot of money and he's dumb. You saw what Robin Givens got out of him.
That's another thing that I never said.
Your telephone rings, it's 1:30 in the morning, and it's Mike Tayson on the phone.
Yes.
Okay. What did he say?
He said, can you come out? And I was shocked. I said, at this time, and do what? And he said that he just wanted to talk to me. And I'm thinking, well, we could go to these after parties. And I got dressed again. I grabbed my camera.
Would you have gone out with him had Mike Tayson not been famous?
I don't know. I went down to the limo and got in, and the next thing I knew, I was at the Canterbury Hotel.
And he said what to get you to go upstairs?
He just said, I have to stop up and get something. And then he mumbled something, and then he said something about a bodyguard. So I assumed that we were going up to get something, and he just said, come on, and I didn't think anything of it. So, you know, without thinking, I just went in there.
Do you think today it was bad judgment that you went into that room?
Naturally, I do because of what happened. But if nothing had happened, I don't think I would have thought it was bad judgment.
There are a lot of people, and you know it, Desiree, who say 2 o'clock in the morning in a man's room with beds. What were you doing there at 2 o'clock in the morning?
I just wasn't thinking. There's no other explanation for it. There's nothing that I can say.
The Washington Post conducted interviews with young women in college of your age, black women, and they didn't seem to show a lot of sympathy for you. One said, 18-year-olds are not naive in this day and age. What did she think a guy wanted at 2 in the morning? Another said, she asked for it, she got it, it's not fair to cry rape.
It's sad that women in 1992 feel that way.
I've seen Mike Tayson. I've seen the sweet side of him and the quiet side of him. Was he sweet and kind and quiet to you when you met him?
When I first met him, yes. His voice was so different than it was when he was raping me. It completely changed. He completely changed. The look on his face completely changed. Everything about him completely changed. He changed from a sweet and nice person that I thought he was earlier to just this animal, like a demon or something.
In minutes?
In seconds.
This almost seems like a dumb question, but was there any way of fighting back?
I hit him. It was like hitting a wall. I cried. I did anything to get him to stop. I couldn't defeat him physically, so I could only beg and cry. Please, I'm starting school. I was crying, and I said, I don't need a baby, and I, please don't, you don't have a condom on. I just cried and begged, and he just continued on doing whatever he was doing. He was sick, and I couldn't help but to be afraid.
Did he say anything to you then, afterwards?
He said, don't you love me now? And then when I was leaving and he asked me to stay, I said, why? So you can do this to me again? And he said, you're just a baby. You're just a crybaby, that's all. And I assumed he called the limo, but I was out of there.
And went back in the limo to your roommates?
Yes.
What did you say to them then?
When I first came in, I was just bawling, and I didn't want to tell them what happened. And in my heart, I knew what happened, but I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want...
Mike Tyson's lawyers showed this videotape to the jury at his trial. They argued that Desiree Washington, if she was indeed the victim of a rape, would not have been rehearsing and performing over the next 2 days of the beauty pageant. Desiree did go on with the show, despite, she says, feeling pain. The day after the rape, you went back to the pageant and participated in it. You danced in it?
Oh, yes.
How could you do that?
I was in pain, but I'm not a quitter. If I were a quitter, I wouldn't have gone through with this trial. I had worked hard for this pageant for 6 months, and I was not going to quit no matter what happened. When I start something, and I know in my heart that I'm right and that I've worked for it and I've done what God wants me to do, there's nothing in the world that can stop me.
The press said that you were very controlled emotionally. Some complained that you were too controlled. You didn't cry.
There was no need for me to cry on the stage.